You find a lottery ticket on the ground, scratch it off with a penny, and suddenly you're holding a piece of paper worth $50 million. Congratulations, you're rich! Time to buy a mansion and 17 sports cars, right? Well, hold on there, future millionaire. Today, I'll explain what actually happens after you win the lottery to you like you're 5 years old, and by the end, you'll understand why winning the lottery isn't quite like finding a magical money tree in your backyard. First things first, that lottery ticket in your hand isn't actual money yet. When you win the lottery, the very first thing you need to do is sign the back of that ticket. Why? Because that little piece of paper is now the most important thing you own. If you lose it, or if someone else finds it and pretends that it's theirs, all that money could disappear faster than cookies at a birthday party. Signing it is like putting your name on your lunchbox so that nobody else can take it. Once you sign it, that ticket officially belongs to you and only you. But here's where things get tricky. You can't just walk into any store and say, "Hi, I'd like $50 million, please." I mean, that would be like trying to trade a toy car for a real car. The store clerk would probably think you're playing pretend. Instead, you have to go to special lottery offices, kind of like the principal's office, but for money. These are the people whose job it is to give out lottery prizes. They're the only ones who can turn your special coupon into actual money. Now, when you get to the lottery office, they don't just hand you a giant bag with dollar signs on it like in cartoons. First, they have to make sure that your ticket is real and that you're really the person who should get the money. They'll check the ticket with special machines. They might also ask you lots of questions to make sure that you're telling the truth about finding or buying the ticket. Once they confirm that you're the real winner, here comes the first big surprise. Remember that $50 million that you won? Well, you don't actually get $50 million. The government, which is like the grown-ups in charge of everyone, takes some of your lottery money for taxes. It's not optional. You have to pay it. How much do they take though? Usually about 30 to 40% of your winnings. So if you won $50 million, you might only get to keep about $30 million. Now that is still a lot of money. I mean, more than most people see in their whole lives. But it's not quite that big sum that you were promised. But wait, there's even more. The lottery people will ask you a very important question. Do you want all your money right now, or do you want them to give it to you a little bit at a time over many years? This is called choosing between a lump sum and an annuity. A lump sum is like getting your entire allowance for the whole year on January 1st. An annuity is like getting your regular allowance every week, but for the next 30 years. If you choose the lump sum, you get less money overall, but you get it all right away. If you choose the annuity, you get more money total, but you have to wait 30 years to get all of it. Now, most people choose the lump sum because they want their money now, not when they're old and gray. After you make that choice and sign a bunch of papers that basically say, "Yes, I really did win the lottery, and yes, I want the money," something interesting happens. The lottery people might ask you if you want to tell everyone about your win or keep it a secret. Some states let you stay anonymous, which means your name doesn't go in the newspaper or on TV. Other states require them to announce your name to everyone. But why would they do that? Well, because they want to prove to other people that real people actually win the lottery, not just the lottery company's imaginary friends. If your name gets announced, get ready for your phone to ring a lot. Suddenly, everyone you've ever met will remember just how much they like you. Your long-lost cousin from 3 states away will call to say hello and, "By the way, could you help me with a house?" People you went to school with 20 years ago will send you letters asking for money. Even complete strangers might show up at your door with sad stories about why they need your help. This is why many lottery winners hire special helpers called financial advisors and lawyers. A financial advisor is like a really smart friend whose job it is to help you make good decisions with your money. A lawyer is someone who knows all the rules about money and can help protect you from people who might try to trick you out of your winnings. Think of them as your money bodyguards. These helpers will probably tell you some things that might surprise you. They'll say things like, "You shouldn't buy everything you want right away." And why not? Because even though $30 million sounds like enough money to last forever, it is actually possible to spend it all. There are a lot of stories about lottery winners who bought huge houses, fancy cars, boats, and expensive jewelry, and then just a few years later, they had nothing left. Your financial advisor might suggest something called investing. Investing is like planting money seeds. Instead of spending all your money on things, you use some of it to buy parts of companies or put it in special accounts where it can grow into more money over time. It's definitely not as exciting as buying a race car, but it means you'll have money forever instead of just for a few years. They'll also probably tell you to pay off any debts that you have first. Paying off debts is important because it means you don't have to worry about anyone asking you for money that you borrowed before you got rich. Another thing that happens after you win the lottery is that you might need to move. And not because anyone is making you, but because suddenly everybody knows where you live and that you have a lot of money. Remember all those people calling and showing up at your door? Well, some of them might be nice people who just want to ask for help, but others might be less nice. Some lottery winners move to new houses in different neighborhoods where they can have more privacy and security. You'll also discover that having lots of money changes how people treat you, and not always in good ways. Some of your old friends might act weird around you now. They might feel awkward because they don't have as much money as you do, or they might be jealous. Some friendships might change or even end, which can be sad even when you have all that money. On the flip side, you'll probably make some new friends as well. You might meet other people who have won the lottery or have lots of money from other winnings like starting businesses. These people understand what it's like to have everyone asking them for money all the time. It's like joining a very exclusive club where everyone has the same unusual problem. One of the biggest things that happens though is that you have to learn how to say no. Before you won the lottery, probably not many people ask you for large amounts of money. Now, people will ask you to help pay for their kids' college, or to help them start a business, or to help them pay their medical bills. All of these might be good causes, and you might want to help everyone. But if you say yes to everyone, you'd run out of money pretty quickly. You might also find that some things about having lots of money aren't as fun as you thought they'd be. For example, you might buy a huge mansion with 20 bedrooms, but then realize it's kind of lonely and hard to keep clean. You might buy an expensive sports car, but then worry about someone stealing it or scratching it in the parking lot. Sometimes having nice things creates new problems that you never knew you had to think about before. The lottery office will also give you information about something called estate planning. This is basically making decisions about what happens to your money if something bad happens to you. It's really not a fun thing to think about, but it is important. You get to decide who gets your money if you're not around anymore, kind of like deciding who gets your toys if you move away. Many lottery winners also choose to give some of their money away to help other people. This is called philanthropy, which is a fancy word for being generous. Some winners give money to schools, hospitals, or charities that help people who don't have enough food or homes. It's like sharing your lunch with someone who forgot theirs, except much bigger. Many winners say that giving money away to help others is one of the best parts about winning the lottery. You'll also learn about something called lifestyle inflation. This means that as you have more money, you start spending more money on everything. Instead of buying regular groceries, you might start buying the fanciest groceries. Instead of staying in regular hotels, you might stay in the most expensive ones. Before you know it, you're spending way more money than you usually do, even on just basic things. It's like if you usually got 1 scoop of ice cream, but then you started getting 5 scoops every time, and eventually 5 scoops just feels normal to you. Another interesting thing is that you might discover new hobbies or interests that you never could afford before. Maybe you always wanted to learn to fly airplanes, or collect rare books, or travel to every country in the world. Having lottery money means you can try things that most people only dream about. Some winners learn new languages, take art classes, or even go back to school to study something they always found interesting. But here's something that might surprise you. Studies show that after the first excitement wears off, most lottery winners aren't much happier than they were before they won. Money can solve some problems, like not having to worry about paying for groceries or fixing your car when it breaks. But it doesn't automatically make you happier, healthier, or more loved. You'll still be the same person, just with more money in your bank account. The most important thing that happens after you win the lottery, though, is that you get to make choices. You can choose to be smart with your money or spend it all quickly. You can choose to help others or keep it all for yourself. You can choose to let the money change who you are, or stay the same person that you've always been. The money gives you many more options, but it doesn't make the choices for you. And so, there you have it, the real story of what happens after you win the lottery. It's not just get money, buy stuff, live happily ever after. It's more like get money, pay taxes, hire helpers, learn new skills, make hard choices, and hopefully end up happier than you were when you started. Now go forth and scratch those tickets wisely, you future millionaire mastermind you.